Page 28, Climb Every Mountain. This is another vocal piece from a musical, The Sound of Music. 4/4 time, no sharps or flats in the key signature. I'm guessing you may not have had key signatures yet, in which case you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I think you will later on in the book, so just hold that thought. There are some accidentals here, some sharps that we got to deal with. And this piece now, when you look it over, you see it's 3 pages long. So it's also on page 30. So we got to deal with a page turn. Well, won't that be fun? Let's start out just checking notes and rhythms. So I'm going to start with the right hand. You're starting out with second finger here. That puts you here. And when I get to the F sharp, since the third finger's on F, I'm going to use third finger on F sharp here. So it's, and this is 4 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and that's tied, so you hold it down for 6 counts, and then measure 5. See the first measure of the second line on page 28, there's a 5 above the staff in a box. That's a measure number. That's one of the ways publishers do it, and then if you want to know what any other measure is, you have to count across from that. So there are a lot of numbers they're showing here. Don't get them confused. Measure numbers are in those little boxes. The other numbers are for other things. Anyway, 5, you're here, measure 5. And then a few measures later, you get an E, and you're going to hold that down for 6 counts and an E. 2-beat rest. And during the rest, you come down 1. Just move the hand down 1. So now you're in this position. So in measure 9, 1, 2, 3, and since the third finger's on the E, I'm going to use it on the E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and that's tied for 6 counts. And then measure what? 13, 1, 2, 3. There's an E natural there. They don't need the natural sign. It's an E natural anyway. They're being clear. They're being nice to you. Because you just had an E flat, they want you to know for sure, this is an E natural. So they put the natural sign there. But it isn't necessary. Hopefully you do it anyway. Bottom of the page in 28, first and second ending, I'll come back to those a little bit later. Let's go on to page 29. You're here, measure 19. 1, 2, 3. Now, you see on measure 20, above the staff is a 1 with a circle. Remember in the Faber books, these Faber books, there's 2 different sets of Faber books. There's one from England and there's one from more the US. And they're different. So just because it says Faber doesn't mean they're all together. They're not. So this series of books uses a circle around the number to indicate you moved your hand. They don't always put circles around them, but if you look back on measure 9, you see the 1 had a circle around it. That's because you moved your hand from here to here. They're just telling you it's a different hand position. You moved. So, well, on measure 19, you're here, and on measure 20, you're here. You moved. And you do that simply by crossing under the thumb, or under the thumb crosses under. I'll get under who does what. It's the thumb simply because if you'll relax, the thumb can move at least a little bit. It doesn't have to move a lot. And you just relax and you just do that. When you get to scales, and you will eventually, I wished you were already there, but I'll wait. You have to do this anyway. So measure 19 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then you had a new position. Now hold that down for 6 counts and then go on. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And you don't need these other finger numbers. They're giving you too many finger numbers. I wish they wouldn't do that because you'll just play finger numbers. You only need the finger number like on measure 20 to tell you to use your thumb on that. Otherwise you'd want to use 4th finger. But you don't need these other finger numbers in measure, what, 21 or 22? Nuh-uh. Because your hand's in that position, you just use the finger on the key. Well, enough of my complaining, let's move on. Go down to the next line, it's measure 26. It's where you see the 3 with a circle around it. Well, that means we moved our hand again. We have 2 beats of rest to come down, and it's here. 1, 2, and again, measure 28, you're going to bring the thumb under here. That's a 1, 2, 1, and you hold that down for a while and then go on. And on measure 30, the C sharp, remember an accidental is good for that, the rest of the measure, for that staff. So that second C is also a sharp. And measure 32 is, you're holding that down, and then measure 33, you reach down, it's here, C. Now if your hand's not big enough to reach it, then you gotta reach up and move. That's okay. Don't stay in this position and try and come down. Stretch out a little bit, do the best you can, and then come down. And then you can collapse. You have a G and a B. You just lower the whole hand down. And then again a C sharp. And then you get to make the page turn. So on page 30 it's here. And then going on, bring the thumb down. Actually, the whole hand comes down. Leave the little finger there. It's holding the note down. Just come down. 1, 3. You don't need enough natural there. They're doing it to be nice to you because you just had an F sharp in the lower staff, and they're telling you make sure this is a natural. It's a natural anyway. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then measure 41 you're here, and 42 is tied, and then for measure 43 they want 1 and 3. Well, I'm out of position, so I'm going to lift up and move. I'm just going to lift up and move here to here. So measure 42, you're holding it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And bring that little finger up 1. That's all. Going on then for measure 47, the whole notes, the G and the E, I'm going to lift the whole hand up and move it down. And I use it, for the next one, I use the second finger on the G sharp. And then 49 is a 1, 4, thumb just comes under a little. And then here. And then in the last measure, for the C chord, you come up. It's a C, an E, and a G. Alright, piece of cake, right? Well, while the right hand is going crazy doing all that, the left hand gets to do something else entirely. Won't that be fun? At the beginning in the left hand, it's an A and a C, and you're here, so you're in this position to start. So it's, and you're holding that down for 8 counts, and then going on, the last measure of that line is here, 2, 4. And then measure 5, you get a rest, and then the measure 6, it's a B flat. Since I have second finger, I'm going to here. And then a 2-beat rest, and it's, and then measure 9, it's an F, A flat. And that's held down for 8 counts, so you can listen to it longer. You're going to love it. Measure 11, you get a rest, and during the rest, you come down. So it's 1, 2. And they're going on. It's an F and a G, and yes, they go down at the same time. And here. They can't put them directly above each other. There isn't room. They would overlap. So they have to, but they're touching. They're there on, they're both on beat 1. Play them at the same time. And here. Page 29. Here. And that's 6 counts on that one, and then you come. Measure 23, 2 beats of rest to come up. And again, just bring the thumb under for the G. When you get to the C major scale, this is the fingering for it. You'll get there. Just bring this, relax, stay loose, and you can come a little bit, but don't come a bunch. Just come under a little bit. You stay in this position. Measure 27, 1, 2. They want it's third finger, that's an error. You're not going to use third finger there. That's silly. You have fourth finger, that's second finger on that F sharp. And you're just staying in that position. You reach the thumb up, 1 for the A. And then 2 beats of rest. Actually, you're in this position now. And then an F sharp. And then page 30. They have you here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's 4 counts. And then the G is 4 counts. Page or measure 41. You come down here. 1, 2, 3. thumb again? No. That's a beginner's fingering, and I know you're still somewhat of a beginner, but I'm going to ask you to use a little better fingering than that. We don't want to use thumb twice. Take my word for it, we don't want to. So I'm going to suggest you do this. Instead of 3, come up and use 4. Just reach up. You have to be able to, if you're going to play piano, to be able to play 5 and 4 a note apart. It's important. Don't always have to think 4's got to be next to it. It doesn't work. We need this ability. So 4, and then a 2, and now the 1 is available. So measure 41 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then 2, you're kind of staying here. Last 3 measures at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to treble clef there in the bottom staff. You're just simply going to move up to this position, C, and it's C, E, and a G. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You're just cutting the G a little bit short so you got time to come up here. Try and get these notes down at the same time. I'm just lowering the whole hand down. Try putting the hands together. This should be interesting. So you're starting out here and here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Remember, the left hand is tied. Now the right hand is tied. 2, 3, 4. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That C is by itself. Going on. 2, 3. See that here, the right hand wants that note, so that's all right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left hand comes up when you play the G, but you got to move down anyway, and that's tied. Here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's sort of how it goes. Now, when you first put the hands together, you're going to hesitate, and you're going to look down, and does this go together? Make sure that when the hands are, you can see how the notes line up between the staves. Make sure that they're together. It's like measure 19 on page 29. You're here at the top here. You're here, and then you're going up to here. Well, the left hand's tied, and now the right hand, hold that down. Now the left hand, or the right hand plays, and then this is together. And then during 2 beats, you come and you're holding the right hand down here now for 3 measures, but the left hand's got some stuff to do. It's okay. Thumbs together, and then you reach down, and you're here. So you go through and put the hands together, then go back through and get rid of the hesitation so it is a steady beat. You can go slow, but it's got to be a steady beat. No hesitations anywhere. Except maybe when you turn the page. I'll come back to that. Then once you can do that, we can think about adding in this phrasing. See the curved line, the big curved lines here? Lift up. Just a little lift up. It's like taking a breath. You just cut that. No. Now sometimes if you get a rest, that's handy. And then, okay. Lift up. So lift up between the phrases. The left hand you play as connected as you can all the way through. You got to lift up for the rest, and you can't connect repeated chords. You just do the best you can. Otherwise, connect everything, whether it's got a slur line or not. In the left hand, connect it. Now, when you get to the bottom of page 29, and you're here, measure 32. You can lift up here to come down here if you've got small hands. If you can reach it, just reach it. And connect this and this. Now on page 30, toward the bottom, it's like measure 47. You have accents on these. Here, on all of these accents. An accent on piano means you just play a little louder than where you were. Just whatever. Give it a little extra oomph. That's all it is. And you don't really have to connect these. And then accent, no accents on these. And no accent on the final chord. 6 notes down at the same time. Where you're playing the same thing in each hand. Just lower both hands at the same time. Listen carefully and try and get all 6 notes down at the same time. Good luck with that, huh? Yeah. Then once you've got the phrasing sort of working, then we'll try the dynamics. You have an MP and an MF at the beginning. 2 verses. Well, the first verse is going to be MP and the second verse is going to be MF. Usually in music, what they would do is they would have the MP dash MF. That'd be horizontal. And it's understood that the first time you play it, you play the first dynamic. Then when you play it the second time, you play the second dynamic. Here they put it next to each verse, and that's okay too. You may not be singing. I'm not singing. I can sing if you want. The point is, the first time this is going to be sort of soft in the melody. Whatever you think sort of soft is. Mezzo piano, medium soft, moderately soft, not soft, just sort of soft. The left hand has to be soft or very soft. I want to hear the melody. Measure 15 and 16, you come up, start out very soft, moderately soft, and then when you repeat back to the top, you're moderately loud. Just a little louder, so it's very soft, medium soft, now moderately loud for the second time. And the left hand can come up to about a soft, so forth. Now at the bottom of the page, page 28, you're moderately loud for the second ending, and this is soft. Now you go back down to moderately soft, and the left hand's got to go to very soft. You go up to moderately loud here. And the left hand can be soft. Are you lost yet? Let's, page 29, measure 19, you're moderately soft. And then you see the hairpin there? You're gonna go up to moderately loud. All that's moderately loud. So at measure 23, the right hand's moderately loud. Well, the left hand can be at moderately soft, and then you see another hairpin going back down. So moderately soft, soft, very soft. So you're just getting softer as that. The right hand dies away on its own. The piano will do it for you. We just got to get the left hand to get softer. All the time I'm doing this, measure 23, 4, and 5. All the time I'm playing that, I want to hear that. So don't drown it out. Except, of course, when you lift up for the rest. Now we're back down to moderately soft. And then on measure 29, you start going up to moderately loud. Don't get moderately loud till there. And the left hand can be moderately soft. But when you get to measure 33, that's not melody. That's part of this broken chord. That all has to sound all soft. This is moderately loud. Now you go up to moderately loud. And now we're loud in the right hand, and sort of moderately soft to moderately loud in the left. You know, we're getting excited. So when you get to page 30, you're loud in the right hand. And sort of a moderately loud to moderately soft in the left hand. And then the accents at the bottom, measures 47 or so. The accents take it up another notch to very loud. Mostly the right hand. The left hand, keep it in the background. And this, start it moderately loud, go down to soft. Softer, softer. So it's, and then the last chord is very loud. FF is fortissimo, very loud. It's not twice as loud, it's just a little louder. Both hands here equal. There's no melody here, it's just a chord. Apparently you climbed the mountain and you're all happy and all okay. Now speed, the only hint they give you is dignified, although you can find recordings of this. You want this is a proud moment. And that when you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty fast, but we're not talking about the speed of the beat. We're talking about the feel and the flow of the piece. And this is how this piece generally goes. You see, once you've learned the rhythm and you got a feeling what it is, you don't count it anymore. I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel the rhythm. I only count the rhythm at the beginning of when I'm learning it to make sure I got it correct. And then I'm feeling it from then on, and that's basically what this is. Now, let's deal with this page turn. You're going on bottom of page 29, the last two measures, you're here. And that measure on page 30, you're here. You can't mess up the beat. The beat's got to be a steady. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of feeling this in 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. But it's got to be a steady. So how do I get this page turned? You got options. You have to decide what you're going to do. The best option always is to just memorize the piece. Just memorize it. Or at least memorize page 30. Just memorize that much. Then you'll have to worry about a page turn. Otherwise, maybe you get somebody to turn the page for you. If you're in a lesson with a teacher there, they'll always turn the page for you. I've never been in a lesson with a teacher when I had page turns and then they did not turn the pages for me. They've always done it. And I always did it for my students too. Or you got to figure out how to do it yourself. Well, both hands are busy here. So, because if one hand wasn't busy, then the hand that's not busy, you could turn the page right quick. Well, both hands are busy, so what do? Well, we have no choice. You have to leave out notes. We don't like leaving out notes, but so leave out as few as possible. You can't leave out melody notes. We got to have them. So at the bottom of page 20, you may have to play this note, and then as you're playing this, turn the page real quick. And just keep that melody going. No matter what happens, keep that beat, keep the melody going, and get the page turned real quick, and then get the left hand back in as soon as you can. It's unfortunate, but that's sort of the way it is. Now, just to make it more interesting, they've added pedal indications. You see under the stabs in like measure 4, there's a line going down and then a line going across. It's a pedal indication. I got all kinds of problems with Faber's pedal indications. Well, let's talk about them. I'm going to push the pedal down after I play the notes. So on measure 4, we're here. It's here. And then here. I'm holding the pedal down. I'm going to lift it with the right hand. I want to hear the phrase. And then on measure 7, I'll push the pedal down after I play the E. And then lift it up with the hand so I hear the phrase. And that's the way. And it works that way pretty much all through here. I got problems with the pedal and I'm going to rant, so hang in there. The pedal changes the tone quality on an acoustic piano because it adds the overtones. Now on an electronic keyboard you have to experiment. It may or may not add overtones, I don't know. But this note without pedal and this note with pedal, they sound different because of the overtones. That difference is extremely important, and we need to learn to listen for and be aware of it anytime we're using the pedal. You never use pedal unless you have to, and you always learn a piece completely without pedal first, so that you can hear exactly what the fingers are doing. Otherwise, it's too easy to get sloppy and lazy, and you're letting the pedal hold the note out for you, because you don't want to hold it yourself. But it changes the tone, so please don't do that. These books tend to make the pedaling simple for you because you got all this going on here and now you got to think about your foot. My problem with that is in doing that, you learn to hear this mess and you get used to it. I don't want you to get used to it. I want you to hear it for what it is, and that's a mess. Now this particular piece, the pedaling the way they're doing it isn't too bad because they're just pedaling a little bit here. You don't really need pedal in it at all, but they're doing it. Okay, we'll do that. At the bottom of page 29, let's start with measure 31. Here, you push the pedal down here. And you hold the pedal down. So you got all that sound going. It works in this case because we're going to get louder and we're going to build up intensity, and that's what we want. So it's here. I lift it up before I go on. My problem there is it sounds terrible because I've got lots of overtones in this. And not this. And that's dry. I built up all this for this. So you're going to have to make sure you play this out. Or it's going to sound really weird. But that's what they've done. That's what we'll do here. Now, you can also use the pedal to help you make a page turn. Because I can do this. And then once I've done that, I can go ahead and leave the pedal down, pedal this, and pedal this separately. And then as the pedal's holding the notes out, so I can hurry up and make the page turn. Here. So a pedal is another way of helping you get a page turn. So even though you can't hold it down with the pedal, will do it for you. And okay. Then on page 30, we're building up and getting louder and more exciting, and that is more reason to use the pedal. So on measure 45, we're using pedal. Change it after I play the notes. Here, change it again after I play the notes. Each time. Change it there just because lots of sound, lots of okay, because it's exciting and the pedal helps us do that. That's good. It works. At the end, last chord, the pedal and the hands come up together. Now at the bottom of page 28, the first and second endings, just to make sure you understand how those work. When you get to measure 16 in the first ending, there's a repeat sign, sends you back to the beginning. That's because there's no reverse repeat sign. If there were a reverse repeat sign, it sends you back to that. Otherwise, you go to the beginning. Then in the second time you play it, when you get down to the bottom, you skip measure 15 and 16 because you've already done them once. That's the first ending. You go directly to measure 17, the second ending, and you do that, and then you go on. And that's how that works. I'd like to play this whole thing with you really slowly, not too slow, but slowly, to check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I will do the pedaling, and we are going to do the repeat. Now I can't do the page turn, so what we're going to do is we'll do pages 28 and 29. Then I'm going to stop. I'm going to turn the page. I'll count in again and give us another 4 counts, and then we'll do page 30 together. This is just to check notes and rhythms. I'm not doing any dynamics or any of that. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Second ending. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop and turn the page. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.